Good afternoon, my little potato chips. How you doing? And a happy Easter Sunday to you all. Now, it's Knife Chats with Paddy, but this one has a specific title. Why I'm not a reviewer. Now, that seems a bit vague, I suppose. That is a vague sentence, but I've sort of lately been finding out that I'm not really a reviewer. I'm a knife lover and collector who likes sharing his buys. A knife reviewer, to me, it seems, is somebody who gets a lot of knives coming through their channel, and they have them for a couple of days, review them, and then they pass them on elsewhere. They do keep some, but the vast majority are loaners or just put in that they have for a few days. That's absolutely fine. And if you want a knife review like that, there is tons of them out there. But I want to step back because I don't want to be a knife reviewer. Most of the knives I have in my collection, or I have had, they're because I love them. I kept them for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Some of them I've had right from the beginning to now, and that includes Ganzos. So a reviewer, I'm probably not. I buy things because I'm passionate about that thing at that time, and I get really passionate, and I love them. And if they're really good, they'll stay in the collection. I very few, don't stay for. There's not. Well, it's really difficult to explain what's in my head at the minute, but it's funny that I reviewed this Jack Wolf, and I suppose that's what put it in the head. It's a Jack Wolf. It's a mid-tech. It's a high-end custom. Well, not custom. It's a high-end mid-tech knife that's made to exact standards and quality. It's just a beautiful knife. I love it. But it seems to be drawing a lot of flack for being too dear. Do you want to know something? You see, if something's too dear, don't buy it. If something's too dear for you, don't buy it. That's the simple answer. And if you don't like what somebody is bringing out, I mean, this is about the same price now as every other, let's say, foreign knife manufacturer from the Far East. It's about the price that most knives are coming out at in this specification, which is the high-end specification. That's about the reasonable price. There seems to be this thing that, just pay that much for a slip joint is just silly. Well, then don't pay for it. I personally, yeah, it is expensive, and I know it's expensive, but to me, it's worth it. I think it's worth that price. That's my honest opinion. Just like everybody else has opinions on knives. Now, I will be keeping this knife. I'll not be passing it on or, for the foreseeable future, I don't see it going anywhere, but especially this one, the first one, will probably never go anywhere, and I love it. Now, is there a bit of bias on my side? Probably, and I have to be honest about it, because Ben, the owner-operator of Jack Wolf Knives, is a friend. He is a friend. There's no doubt about that. I can't hide it. But I'm judging him on the knife. The knife, to me, is just spectacular. It is one of the best grinds I've ever seen. The hollow grind in this is beautiful. Everything about it is a stunning knife. And I have a point to this, right? And I think it's a good point. This is just the most beautiful. That dark matter carbon fiber with the blue highlights is just stunning, right? I absolutely adore it. And it's been in my pocket. I can't get it out at the moment. Now, I will probably carry this for another 3 or 4 days, and then I'm going to carry this one. And this is a full custom, right? It's a full custom, but it's nowhere near this price. The quality is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And for the price you pay for this, to me, it's a bargain budget. It's just, for what I'm getting in this knife is just stupendous quality. And a price that's just unmatched, I believe, in knife makers who are making this sort of thing. So I'm going to leave that for the minute. I've had comments saying that, the edges are too sharp. Nick Shabazz says, now, I'm not running Nick down. Great reviewer. I watch his reviews myself. But for me, Nick didn't like it. He didn't like things about it. He didn't like the top edge of the knife, and that's fine. I disagree with him. I disagree with him completely, because for symmetry and to have that nice blade stock, that part here needed to be that thick. I think, because what it enables you to do, an awful lot of people don't like nail nicks. This enables you, because this is 3mm and it hollow grinds down to 9 thousandths. This, you put your hand here, this sharp edge just catches your thumb, and you're quite safe pulling this without any problem. Makes it very easy opening. I don't know anything this wouldn't cut through, because it's got a 3mm spine. Nothing in my EDC world will ever be that hard to cut through that 3mm wouldn't go through, and a 9,000 behind the edge, 10,000 behind the edge. So to me, that's perfect. I love that fact of it. Absolutely perfect. And there's, look at the front of it. If you want to go through something, if it's going to be much thicker than that, maybe it's not the right knife for it. Do you know what I mean? If you can't get it through. I don't know anything it wouldn't go through yet. I haven't come across anything. So some of these little points, and that's just one point. Other people don't like it for whatever reasons. It's screwed construction, yet you're told not to take it apart. What does that matter? That was for assembly purposes. That was done for assembly purposes. You know, you've no need to take any slip joint apart unless it's broke. And that's the only reason. You can blow out, clean out. You don't need to. I have boxes and boxes full of slip joints. I'll never see the inside of them unless I break them. So it's a modern interpretation of a slip joint. It might be made a little bit different, but that's what makes it modern. And this here is a traditional one, made by a craftsman, a one-man, you know, in his own shop, making this knife. That's it, one man. This is made with lots of different people with inputs in it to their different skills. It is hafted when it's put on. All this is hafted when it is put together in assembly and made sure that everything is perfect. Are the edges sharp? No, they are sharp looking, but they don't feel sharp in the hand. And it's an EDC knife. Why are you ever going to be gripping a death grip on an EDC knife? Wrong knife, wrong job. That's it. Simple as. So I was getting a bit annoyed, because this knife is beautiful and I love it. But you don't have to love it. I don't expect everybody that's on my channel to love what I buy or what I have, or that's not life. I love them. It's my collection. And that's why I don't want to be known as a reviewer. It's more I get on here and blarney about the knives that I love. I mean, they're not... Yes, if you don't like them, I don't mind people saying, I don't like it because, that's fine. But don't quote what other people are saying. If you've had the knife in your hand and you have a fault with it, then by all means, certainly give your fault. And not everybody's going to love them. Not everybody, but I do. So, you know, I'm not giving a good review because Ben's a friend. It's because it's a knife that I want and like. So, was that a bit of a rant? I'm sorry, it was a bit of a rant. But this is a knife that you haven't seen before. Unless you've been on my Instagram, I want one picture on my Instagram. This is a knife from my favourite maker, Ashley Harrison. My favourite. And I'm friendly with Ashley Harrison too. There you go. Go figure that. You're friendly with somebody who's making knives for you. To me, that's a big plus, not a negative, because I know what work he's capable of. And people say you can't get custom knives. I hear it all the time. Yeah, these you can't get them. You have to be on the run. Yeah, you do. Dead simple. If they were made in the thousands, they wouldn't be that special. You know what I mean? If everybody had one, that wouldn't be that special. And it's the same with Ashley. But Ashley is just somebody who I followed. I'm going to move that out of the way now, because I love that knife, but it's out of the... Now I'm going to go on to somebody like Ashley. Everybody says, I put a lot of Ashley's knives on my channel. I talk about them a lot, and everybody says I can't get them. Well, I'm sorry, but they are gettable. If you can't get on his order books, every now and then, you know, and it's usually quite regular, Ashley makes a knife just to make a knife, because he's enjoying his art of making knives. He does Arthur Wright knives. You know, the factory that he's in makes them all day long, every day, different variations of Arthur Wright knives. These are his own little bit of artistic freedom. And that's a nice way to put it, I think, artistic freedom. And I love this. But he put this up on Instagram last week. This is the third knife, I think, I bought off Ashley on Instagram. Not because I know him or he knows me. He put it up and I was the first to say, can I buy it? I was actually the first on the Instagram feed when it came up. More by luck than judgment, but I do check very regular during the week. At the end of days, he'll put knives up when he's finished them. So there's another little tip. Get on there and follow somebody. If you want something from a maker, follow them. Keep in contact with them. Now, I don't mean by telephone or whatever. Just keep in contact with their channels if you know they sell them on the channels. I know he sells them on his channel, so I don't have to wait. I'll get it posted out the next day as soon as I buy it. I'm not waiting for a custom. Ashley's brilliant at that. Every now and then he throw a knife up and it's just for sale. It's one he just tried and he made up. Fantastic. That's where I got this one. I'll show you some others, but this I got. And he put it up on Instagram. There was no hidden agenda in price for Paddy. This is the price that it was on Instagram. £80 for this knife. Beautiful sheath that I've got it in by. Just going to give him a quick shout out. It's $10.95 on Instagram. $10.95 leather. Beautiful leather slips. High quality, made to and the leather is just beautiful. So the wee call out to him, $10.95. Please go check his channel out. I'm going to do a wee review on him actually, because my wife I got a lovely wallet I bought from my wife off him, and I must just show that with some of his other slips. Beautiful. Look at this. Now, tell me that's not beautiful. That's not a modern material. Not at all. This is curly maple that has been dyed. It looks like the galaxy at night. It is just stunning. Look at the figuration. Now, how do you know it's wood? Look at that. If I tilt it, can you see the little marks of the wood? That's just part of the grain of the wood. It is a bit bumpy, and no, it's completely smooth to touch. You don't feel it. But look at the way that die has taken that curly maple. Look at that back spring and the file work. How just gorgeous that is all the way around that knife. Beautiful cut off there. And let me just, there's a long nail nick. It is just beautiful all the way through this knife. Lovely little bolster on it. And then look at that blade with Damascus on the blade. I have to get the light. Look at that. Come on. That is beautiful. Hand done Damascus. And it's made with $10.95 and is it N15 something. It's the way Damascus should be made. I know that because I've checked up on it in the past and spoke to Ashley about it. It is beautiful and it's usable. I can use this knife. It's a fancy knife. Am I going to batter it about on a building site? No, I'm not. But I will use it just as much as I use my other EDC knives, which is rare and few. I've got that many. It's rare. You know, I don't get to use them a whole lot, but this is useful. I quite happily take this out. Not a problem. Take it out and use it. But that wooden scale, isn't that hard to believe? That's wood. It's amazing what you can do with wood. Look at that. I just find it stunning. Absolutely stunning. Lovely little, well, I nearly, it's probably a clip, but it's like a drop point look to a blade, but a lovely belly all the way along. Just a gradual belly. Beautiful knife for cutting. If you wanted a steak knife, if you wanted anything to do food prep, that's fine. You just got to oil your blade because it's you know, it's going to be prone to rust if you don't. I'll probably never use it. Well, that's a lie. If I was cutting a sandwich or something, yeah, just cut a sandwich with it. Just wipe it down, keep it clean. That's all you have to do. Nothing special, nothing complicated that any of us can do, but just look at that. Come on. £80. £80. Ashley sells because he loves making them and then he just passes them on to us. I mean, we're his end users. We buy his Arthur Wright knives. Him and his father run Arthur Wright knives, our own Arthur Wright knives. So we buy their knives. He does this for his own pleasure making the knife, and then he passes it on at a price that's just stupid. He really is underselling himself, and I'll be honest, I've said to him he should charge much more, but he doesn't need to, and he doesn't want to, and that is just a joy, an absolute joy for somebody in this day and age to say that. That's why I think so highly of him. And this, to me, is one of my most beautiful knives. Most beautiful knives. Along with that is one of my most beautiful knives for completely different reasons, for a completely different price point. But if I was buying one of them, in my circumstances, would probably only ever be able to get one. I'm very fortunate that I am a channel on YouTube, so I'll probably get more. Well, I know I'm getting more, but so I'm very fortunate, and I really do feel fortunate. With Ashley, I have 4 custom knives of Ashley, and I haven't known him that long. You know, I've only known him through YouTube. I haven't known him that long, and I'll get many more of his knives because they're in my price bracket of, you know, 80 to 150 is probably where I buy most of my knives at that price. I have got dearer ones that I paid more than this, but they're few and far between because I can't. My lovely Hinderer was 300, same price as the as this one. Do I regret buying it? No. Does it cut any better than this? No. But I love it because it's so well made and beautifully thought out. This is just absolutely stunning. This is a knife. It's about a 4-inch handle. You know, it weighs about 3 inches, maybe, if it does that. But I have that Damascus. I was never a Damascus lover. And as I'll show you in a wee minute, I have another one of Ashley's, which is Damascus, which I absolutely love. And I have a lovely Tucson knife, which is Damascus. But I just love that. That is perfect. Now, I'll do a full review, and I'll do a cut test and everything with it before I do that full review. I only just got this the end of last week. If you follow Instagram, in fact, you can go on Instagram now and see when that knife was put up. Actually, just put it up at the end of the day, put a price on it, and I was first there. And you'll see down below in the comments, first to comment, sent him a message. Asked him for sale, he said yes. I said bye. I didn't need to do any more because I know the standard of Ashley's work is fantastic. He's a lovely half stop on that one. Sits down lovely. Really sits down. Now, it's not snap, but it's just perfect. It's about a 6.5 pull, 6.5. Perfect. I love that. 6 or 7 is a real easy workable blade. I can go to 8. It doesn't bother me that much at all. I've got good strong nails. Never bothered me. Always have my nails at a reasonable length that I can pull any out. Do I bend them sometimes? Yes, I do. But there's a beautiful knife that you'll see more of. I'm going to set that there. While I'm here, I'm just going to, I have them all sitting here, so I may as well show you. Here's another one of Ashley's that I bought off the Instagrams. He put this up for sale, and you've seen that. I've done a review. If not, go back and have a look. This is a good 7.5, 8. It's a real, look at that razor knife. And this was the first time Ashley had done Damascus on a knife, on a full knife. He's done it on the bolsters, the back spring, everything about it is Damascus. And isn't it just stunning? I love the fact that Damascus can be different on both sides. This actually doesn't do regimented Damascus. It's just folded and pressed, and it comes out how it comes out. I just love it. Absolutely. This is just such a flashy knife. Such a flashy knife, and one that I just adore. I adore it. So there we go. That's the newest one at the top. And this one, again, was a wee bit dearer for this one. It had taken him a long time to make it because he had bolsters everywhere. I think it was about 130 or something. Don't quote me on it, but it was somewhere close to that. But for that sort of a knife, that style of a knife, again, look at that. It's just perfection. Well, not perfection. You'll find faults with every knife that are handmade. Just tiny little faults if you look hard. I personally don't look that hard, but I'm the same with all my knives. You know, if I like the knife, I like the shape, I like the cutting geometry of it, I like whatever about it, I'll buy the knife. If there's a little flaw in it, well, so what? If I'm paying a price that I feel comfortable with, more than happy to do it. Here's a knife that I was more than happy to pay for. This is a true custom that Ashley made for me. And to this date, it's the only true custom I have. And this is this one. This is the one everybody loves, and for a reason. What a beautiful sheep's foot working knife with an easy opening notch. The beautiful shield. These are all things that I gave to Ashley. And, you know, I left him. I told him what I wanted. I wanted a Barlow knife, and I wanted a shield. His stamping is just beautiful on the knives. Nothing on the other side. And you'll see this is all scratched because I do more than most times just throw this in my pocket and use it. It's fantastic. 01 tool steel, works all day. not a problem. And these steels all tend to strop back really easily, which is another thing that I really like about my custom Ashley Harrison knives. Beautiful, 1095, or sorry, 01 steels, 01 steel usually on most of them, or 1095 on the Damascus ones. That again was somewhere around £100 for a custom made knife. Just unbeatable. That blue bone, which has been dyed, fantastic color. It is just, I'll just bring that up. You can see the bone color in it. These, camera lights never show the true justice of these dyed handles. They are stunning. And that's an art in itself. Just to get it absolutely right. Don't muck about with it too long. Here's another one. And this one was made for me. But Slick Slicer, he knew Ashley before I did. And he got Ashley to make this knife for me. He had ordered one, and I asked him would he do two, and I got this one. I paid for this one. Again, this is Ashley sort of basic. This is an 01 tool steel, beautiful wood handles. I'm not sure if it's a rosewood or something like that, but it is just lovely. This is a work knife. This really is a fantastic 4-finger grip, full work knife. Love the spear point. Just a gorgeous blade. This is the one I use more and more for work. I do use that one as well, but that's a stainless steel blade, I actually think. No, it is 01. Don't know what I'm talking about. That's nothing unusual for me. Anyway, I look, steels again. There's another thing that keeps coming up. Steels. I don't care. I'm tired. I'm tired of having to have the best steel. I don't have to have it. 1095 all day long. Quite happy with it. Just have no problem with it rusting. And if it does, so what? I'll rub it off and start again. Dead simple. I'm just tired of fighting over steels. So they're all custom handmade by one person that I've got in my collection. 2 of them, I got them off the Instagram, which is just fantastic to be able to do that. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to put a bit of time in, follow the custom knife maker that you want, and especially if he does drops, keep on dropping. That last part of the day, I know people are in work and they can't sort of, keep in contact, but it's just what you have to do. Or you order one from him and get on his waiting list, which I think is pretty long for Ashley. When you're making knives of this quality at this price, you're going to sell. Your books are going to be full all the time. All the time. But to make it fair to the company, Ashley and his father run Arthur Wright and Company. Here's another knife. This is a knife that actually was making a batch. One day I seen him doing a batch for the company, and I said, Ashley, would you make me one at the end of that batch? And he happened to have, he says, I have one spare blade. I'll put a handle on it for you and do it. It was about £35. And this knife will do everything all these knives will do, including this. This will work every bit as hard. It's a beautiful basic. I think it's maybe rosewood or something. I'm not sure. It's a gorgeous wood. Nice grain in it. Just a lovely piece of wood. Beautifully handcrafted. Look at that backspacer. This is a £35 knife. Look at that. I still think the Arthur Wright clip point is the nicest anywhere. The nicest, full stop. I love it. Absolutely love it. So there's a price. You can go to Arthur Wright and buy that. Just go on the internet to Arthur Wright. Buy it. And here's another one from Arthur Wright, but this is an older one. And this is from before Ashley and his father took over the business. There's another. Look, you can see the blade shape has not changed in years. This is the old tang stamp, which is just A. Wright and Sons. Beautiful blade. This is in buffalo horn. And to be honest with you, the buffalo horn has gone off. I've tried shining it back. You can see where it would have been. The luster would have been really good. I don't know how old this is, but it's just a beautiful knife. It is a stunning knife. And I mean, that's, I don't know, 30, 40-year-old. That's just, last week, basically. But look, they look so similar. And they're made to the same high specification. And even this one, at that age, for an older sort of model knife, it's made really well. Beautifully done. The buffalo horn is hafted beautifully onto there. It's just gorgeous. I love this knife. I love this knife. And last but not least, here's a really old Arthur Wright. This one is in the plastic handle with a lamb's foot blade, which they're renowned for. The lamb's foot blade over here in the UK, especially for farmers and that the like of that, hard-working men who use their hands, the lamb's foot's a popular blade because this was made to get in the hooves of lambs, you know, to clean them up. But it's just a great pocket knife for all-round use, for detailed work, for slicing, cutting bits of rope, anything that a farmer would do. It was made for that, and that's a beautiful knife, and that's in stainless steel. So there's my collection of Ashley Harrison. I'll move my Jack Wolf out knives. That's my collection of Ashley Harrison knives, and it's just to let you see. I mean, this one you can go and buy today. Just go to Arthur Wright and Sons on the internet, find it in there. Go and buy it. They're sold everywhere. Now, sometimes you get a waiting list of maybe it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks, but you can order and you'll get one eventually without an extended waiting period. They're starting to catch up after COVID. But that is a section of knives from Arthur Wright and Ashley Harrison that just typifies what you can find when you search. There's always good custom makers. There may be, now Ashley's not small time, but his own side of it is small time. He doesn't make a huge amount. He just experiments and plays around with different patterns, shapes, and blade materials. I just love that. I just love it. So, I know it was a bit of a rant, but I think I definitely want to separate myself as a reviewer. I'm a reviewer of my knives. So if I'm most of the time, yes, companies send me knives and I have to say whether I like them or not. But I haven't had a brother knife I didn't like. So why would I give a bad review on it? You know, I love this knife. Why would I find something that I could pick on? I don't know. It's not me. But our reviewers, that's what they do. But remember, if you're going to a reviewer, just be careful. Are they, like I mostly have slip joints now. Are they a slip joint user? Do they know much about slip joints? You have to take people's reviews in text with who they are and what they are. Nick's a fabulous reviewer. He gets on there and he can blether away and he finds things wrong. I'm the opposite. I'm a reviewer who loves something by eye first, and then I find things right instead of trying to find things wrong. Because if there's enough right about a knife, it's perfect for me. I hope that made sense. That's about as good as I could put that into context. And I still love these 33-pound knives as much as I love this knife. In fact, I'm so proud of this collection. I'm hoping I get a collection of these like this to give a real super comparison. But I like knives. I'm not looking for a fault. I'm looking for good. So that separates me. That makes me a bad reviewer because I'll miss faults that some people want to find. But it's, you know, this is YouTube. This is fun for me. I am not doing this. Like I keep telling you, I usually get £100 or less in revenue money from AdSense every month. Do you know what I mean? This knife took up my review money for last month. There you are. It's as simple as that. It's gone. So everything else you see that I've got, I've bought, I've traded, I've done whatever for so that I could have it. That's the difference. I'm not getting, you know, hundreds of knives coming through my... Now, I could ask people to send me knives. Don't give me... And I'm not running people down. There's Metal Complex. He gets hundreds of knives sent to him. And fair play to him. He wants to do that. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't keep up with his standard. Now, I make, you know, quite a lot of videos in my eyes, but it's as a hobby. And I love watching people who do reviews. Not so much that I'm going to take in everything they say. I like visually looking at things that, oh, I could have that. And really, that's what our reviewers should be doing, is enticing you to buy something. Now, if they don't like it, they have to be honest and say, I don't like it. But it should be based on facts and knowledge. That's all I'm saying. And all them boys are really upstanding boys. Please do not take this as a rant on other. It's just my reviews. I look for the good more than I look the bad. Because in slip joints, they just work. They just work for me. I love them. And that's gone back in. Two of my favourite men, well, they're two up. I have a lot of favourite men. That doesn't sound really good. And I'm going to move on quickly. I have a lot of lovely fellowships with men in the community who I love, whether they're knife makers or reviewers or whatever. And I love having that friendship. And to get picked for something like this, fantastic. For a UK channel to get picked for something like this, I feel honoured. So there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ashley, for being who you are, and your father as well. I don't want to leave him out. Yous are two lovely people, and I recommend your knives, as you know, highly to anybody around the world. And Arthur Wright and Ashley, they'll send their knives anywhere. So, Paddy's away. Sunday rant over. I've cleared my zen is back. My zen is back. So, I'll see you next week.